Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. That's Andy Tate. Spurs 2, Manchester United 0. The away day abysmal form that we saw last season carries on, Andy. Where do you start with that? What went wrong today for Manchester United?
I have to say, the first half performance, Ten Hag has basically put his trust in these players for the entire game. First half was excellent. Then anything that was said has just gone out the window and they've just capitulated. I can't pronounce it right. Capitulated.
We know what you meant.
Second half, and they absolutely waste of time. Waste of time, this team, some of them. Absolutely. Anthony, Bruno, second half, Rashford, everybody. Varane, is like I say, front three, midfield, everybody apart from Unano. I'm not putting any blame on him on this performance because this was toothless. Just how we got across the line for the end of the last season. FA Cup final performance, absolutely shocking. You know, it's nothing going forward as well. So we got things off the pitch affecting things on the pitch as well. It's like, I'm going to say, I'll criticise Ten Hag on this. You've basically kept the same squad for the last 2 weeks and none of them has justified your decision making. That's the only qualm I'm going in on the boss man. That's it. He has to change it now because some of these players, they're still in a comfort zone and they're just not giving her all after such a promising first half. And Bruno, absolutely shocking. All mouth again, and he's supposed to be captain, leading by example, setting up passes. He's woeful. Anthony, absolutely stinking the place out. Garnacho, awful. Casemiro, absolutely shocking. So I say, not acceptable. None of that second half. And if a rocket up the arse ain't going to do anything, what's the point? They don't respond. This just like Brentford's second half was, just like Brentford.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. I do. It's so frustrating because we got away with it against Wolves, and then you go into this game, you think, right, now we need to kick on. And we need to show what we're about. And yet we didn't. I think Onana after the game was sort of talking about the mistakes that cost us. What do you make of that? What do you make of the fact you've got experienced defenders just sort of switching off?
And they should know better, mate. Really should know better after what I say. It's in these players to bottle it and disappear. Look, Etihad, Anfield, it's in them. Bottle jobs, FA Cup final. And they go, sorry. You're in the moment. It's your responsibility. If you can't motivate yourself to actually do better on the pitch, you are seriously at the wrong football club. Seriously, some of these players. Even Marcus Rashford stinking the place out. He is not a number 9. We are crying out for the midfielder, crying out for a striker. And you say, mate, we're in a fight. I said we're not going to win the league this season. We're in a fight for top 4. From 3rd going down to 7th. That's our level. This is our level, Man United, this season. We are not at any level for fighting for the top 2 in a title race. Nothing. Full stop.
You said there that this manager sort of got to stand by his decisions of sticking with the same squad, and it was a mistake. If you're going to make changes, if you're Eric Ten Hag now and you're going, look it, right, I've got a Forest game coming up that I can't afford another performance like this because the season's going to start, it's going to start, I know we've already won a game, but the questions are going to be start getting asked about the group of players before the season's even got going. What changes do you make then? What would you say? Who do you think deserves to be dropped, basically?
Anthony, definitely. Okay. Sit him on the bench, let him rot for a game or two. You know, maybe like look at yourself, Anthony. Absolutely stinking the place out. Palestra, bit of you say Rashford, put him in on the wing as well. Jadon Sancho, maybe up front. Maybe Højlund will be back next week as well. So we have to have a reaction next week and a better defence. I seen Nottingham Forest last night, and like I say, they're more than capable of cut. And Lang is back as well. What a chance for him to stick 2 fingers up to the United hierarchy who got rid of him. You know, so it's only second game, but it's the same performance from last week at Wolves. We should have lost last week. And look at Wolves today, 4-1. Absolutely got the clocks cleaned by a really good, decent Brighton team. Absolutely fast goal. Should have had a penalty. Yes, Bruno should have scored. But if I say VAR room, typical. I won't waste my breath on VAR. I won't waste my breath on the ref because they're a waste of time.
Just before I let you go, you said there bottle jobs. Some of these players are bottle jobs. Did it last season. Heads dropping. You mentioned Etihad. You mentioned Anfield. Heads dropping when that first goal goes in and away from home. We're just not standing up. We're not standing tall. How do you fix that? Is it change of players? Do you just look at some of your senior pros? Do they need to step up? What is it you think about this team that needs to change to sort of address that? Because it's been an issue, like you mentioned, that we've been talking about literally since this time last year.
I say we've stuttered basically since winning the Carabao Cup.
Okay.
We've stuttered over the line with performances. We've retreated to our former state with what we was, and it's absolute. This is not acceptable. You say, you got things off the pitch as well. I don't want anything off the pitch to affect us on the pitch. Some players dictating us think they're entitled to a lifestyle just to come back to United. You got players who want more money just to leave United. I'm sick of them. Some Man United players think they're owed something by this club, when in all honesty, you owe the club when you step on that pitch performances of the highest quality. So I am sick to death of these players thinking that life owes them a fucking money job or a performance or a lifestyle. I'm sick of these players who go under the radar, never perform, then come out once or twice a season, perform, then disappear again. It's in this team to be bottle jobs. We've seen it at Etihad, we've seen it at Anfield, we've seen it at other performances, FA Cup final. I am sick to the back teeth of it. And I say, it's on Ten Hag as well. He picked a side, he's got to take the criticism as well.
100%. He's not immune from criticism. These players certainly aren't immune from criticism. And there's no worse criticism you can get than bottling it. And that's what they're doing at the minute. Some of these players, their heads are dropping and they need to fix themselves up, because before you know it, this season's going to start catching up with us. Andy, always a pleasure chatting to you, my brother.
Thank you.
We'll see you. You're going to be here after the Forest game.
Yeah, I'll be there next week.
You're going to be there next week, and then you head down to give us your reaction. Hopefully, better days ahead, because if we don't pick up all 3 points against Forest, I don't know what we're going to do.
The knives will be out.
They will. That's the nature of the beast when it's Manchester United Football Club. That's been Andy Tate. I've been Jay Motti. This has been a review of Manchester United losing 2-0 at Spurs. Hopefully, better days ahead. Thanks for watching.